it's kind of funny because I, think to myself, it's like, oh, you don't, you can't be, you can't have your trademark be like weeping every time you have to make a speech. No. After all, you're not Tobey Maguire circa 2002. So, kudos to those of you that get that joke. But, oh God, I came here earlier on today. I actually just got out of this really stressful meeting, nothing really to do with the school or campaign. It was with one of the other organizations I'm part of. And I just had to take a breath. I was like, you're going to be around friends. You don't want to bring that negativity in that space. And the second, and out of the corner of my eye, I'm thinking, you know what? You're just going to put on, a happy face. And then, I see Governor Locke, go past. I'm like, what the shit? He's here. Okay. And then I, as I get out of the car, I hear people, right here, just, a couple of people organizing things, and I'm thinking, oh wow, okay, there are gonna be some people there, okay, that's cool. And then I go down and I see all of my colleagues, I see all my friends, and I immediately, it all just melts away. So I really love you guys. Thank you so much for this.
We love you too.
And And, I should probably talk a little bit about the race because I have good news and I have some bad news. Well, more like, kind of just to kind of be transparent and let you know what we're up against. So the good news is we have currently outraised the opposition, right? Woo. And this is the incumbent. So let's be clear, I'm against an incumbent not a lot of people like. But she is in office because she is a friend of the mayor. The mayor is a really old, when I say old school Republican, I'm not talking about Reaganite, I'm talking about someone who shares the very same values that are contrary to the Blue Lives Matter movement that some of our own residents marched for. And I should add, Kent is a majority black and brown city, right? So, and also has a lower average income than the rest of King County, right? So when we're talking about populations that are underserved and we're talking about equity in King County, that, Kent is the epicenter of where we really need to be pushing things. And the good news is we have outraised her and we have knocked over 5,000 doors in this, and we still have a long way to go. And also, I do want to give a shout out to David, who has come knocked a number of times. And who has knocked a number of doors, so thank you, including in the rain. So I'm sorry if you got a cough. And also, I want to give a shout out to Tim, who, like David and like many of you here, and also, like Leslie and Judith, who from day one, I think it was 2 days before, because I declared on April 5th, the day before my birthday. And I was like, oh, I'm thinking about doing this. And you were like, yeah, I think we were over a Zoom call. I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I want to give a shout out to Leslie and Judith for supporting this. And honestly, just quite frankly, pumping me up when I said to myself, oh, should I really do this? I don't know if I can do this. So I have an amazing team. I have an amazing wife. I have amazing friends by my side. So that's the good news. The bad news is that my counterpart on city council, or who will be my counterpart, has said that when she ran, she knocked 15,000 or 13,000 doors. That means that we still have a lot to do, that we're barely even halfway there if we factor in the amount of times people have called, the independent expenditures by different organizations. If I add all of that up, I think we've gotten to 7,000, right? So that means in the next month, and don't worry guys, I promise I'll actually be teaching my classes. They're online, it's affordable. I'll be emailing students while door knocking. But I'm going to be on the doors every single day. And I can assure you of that because Kent is worth it. That I've heard so many stories of residents who have been assaulted by the police. And if you go online, the Real Kent PD, you can look it up on YouTube. There are about 4 different videos of Kent residents, many of whom look like me, who, were basically assaulted by police for no reason at all. I'll particularly remember one gentleman who it was really disturbing. That he was walking home at night, didn't have any weapons on him, just kind of like one of those, shirts you pick up at Ross. Just normal dude, like walking home, probably from a party, and the cops just rolled up on him and was like, "Sir, excuse me, and y'all probably know where I'm going from here." But the most disturbing thing to me was in that video, he screamed, "Please, I can't breathe. Please, get your knee off my back. I can't breathe. Just treat me like a human being like you." And I'll tell you, a concerned citizen sent me an email that the Kent Police Association sent around to the council members. And in that email, they didn't say that this behavior is unacceptable, to do better. They didn't say, well, they'll go through the disciplinary process and, we'll leave it at that. Instead, they said, well, this is the reason why he did it. This was why he was right to do it. And also that by cursing at this person and by cursing at these people and basically treating them as less than human, that's somehow a technique meant to diffuse tension or something like that. And if you watch a Kent City Council meeting, no one will ever bring that up. No one will ever question what the police chief says. No one will even ever blink an eye about the fact that we just settled something last year, May settlement, $4.4 million for a young man that was killed, and that police officer left. That police officer left the KPD, which you'd think is a victory. But you'll hear the police chief saying, well, we have so many police officers leaving, so we really have to invest more, we really have to do this. I get wanting our neighborhoods to be safe, but that's not how we make them safe. And that terrifies me. It shakes me to my very core, because that could be me. That could be anyone in the community, including people who do not look like me. And that's not right. And to add on to that, for people who are unhoused, that they can get it a lot worse. And there is no 24-hour shelter, because my amazing wife and I, we were driving along on the way to where were we driving to on one day? Sorry, we're very busy still.
I don't remember. I vaguely remember.
But we came up upon a homeless gentleman who.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It was at the Rite Aid Plaza.
Yep. The same plaza where you meet up for canvases. But he looked like he had died in the middle of the street. And we went to him and it's like, hey, sir, are you all right? He turned out to be homeless, and this was during the heat wave. And we thought, so we got him water, we got him food, and again, no cheers need for that. But the disturbing thing here is we looked around. We looked around the entire region for a homeless shelter it could take him. No such luck. We Googled it, we just sat there, we were like, okay, we gotta just find something, come on. And you'll hear that, well, we have this and that, we have some affordable housing, blah, blah, blah. But I want to be very clear that for those who are very vulnerable in our community, we have very little to nothing. We have very idyllic neighborhoods in Kent. We have, a lot of different apartments, a lot of construction. But the fundamental message of my campaign is that we need to do better. That if we're going to pioneer, we're going to pioneer justice, that doesn't, don't get me wrong, a lot of Seattle needs justice. It's gentrified to shit. But, we need to be doing that right there in the heart of Kent. So I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I love y'all for being here. Thank you so much for not just supporting my campaign, but also recognizing and really holding up our marriage, because Monica means the world to me. She inspires me on a daily basis. I wouldn't be here without her. I sure as hell wouldn't be here at Bellevue College, because I'd probably, be smoking my bong in my apartment in South Park. Just
You would have gotten there anyway.
Well, it would have taken a lot longer.
He's the propane of this candidate.
Trying to move out of that apartment and confront those slumlords.
That's for the libertarians.
That's a story
too.
But that wouldn't have happened without her. So, thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Now drink and be merry, because I'm a professor. I can talk a lot.